What's good, everybody? My name is NONPFIXION. This is RealFansSports. This is my co-host, Levels, and this is our 2021 Super Bowl prediction featuring the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams. So, Levels, what say you, my good man?
Yeah, man, I'm just so excited. I mean, being one of the biggest sporting events in the world, being the Super Bowl, dealing with this crazy halftime performances, all these fans and all this, just craziness that goes around, something that you dream about starting from Pop Warner to now. All these young kids are being to experience it. And then this year, especially, so many kids that are coming really young. A lot of these kids are 22, 23, they barely able to drink, are now under the limelight in the biggest game in football history. So we're going to be able to see them, and I'm excited for it. What about you, Nana? You ready for it?
Oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I love watching Super Bowl no matter who's in it, because it's just the culmination of the season, of course. And it's that time of year where everybody starts to kind of go down a little bit because you're like, dang, football season's over. But it's still exciting to watch players play on the biggest stage there is in football.
Exactly, man. And, talking about that, like I said, there's a lot of young guys. So a lot of these people, it's their first time appearances. I know for the Bengals side, a lot of youth. There's not a whole lot of veterans on a squad that have experienced this. On the Rams side, we have some guys on the defense. There's a couple guys on the offense that have been there during the 2018 season. But the only real experience that the Bengals have is on the coaching side, where Coach Zach Taylor was actually on that Rams team coaching during 2018. And then they also have a couple other guys like Callahan and Pollock who have also been experienced for a Super Bowl. Do you think that's going to play a role at being able to settle these young guys down for the Cincinnati Bengals?
I think with them being so young, I think that can be a hindrance where it's the fear of the big stage, having to perform. But having it where your coaches have been there, that can mean a lot, especially them being older, well-performed, having their own NFL experiences, but being able to teach them how to come into the stage and still come with your head up high, but not too high in the clouds where you miss the game and you play outside yourself and not play the right game. So I think it could help more than hurt.
Exactly. So, a lot of things that I've heard from players is that you just feel like your feet are floating above the ground. Like there are just so many emotions going on in the field. It almost feels unreal.
Yeah.
And, with that coming into play, we talk about the other side of Rams, Stafford, who's a veteran in this league, but has never been on this stage. I mean, he's having a lot of firsts this year in his career, very late. Is he going to be able to stay humble? Is he going to be more prepared than like on the opposing side being Joe Burrow?
I don't think we have an issue with him being humble. I think he's always going to be that way. He's not the showboat type of QB. He's not the showboat type of person. He's never been that way. He's never had the reason to be that because of where he came from. But I think he's going to have a good game. I don't know how good a game he's going to have because of who I'm picking, but I think he's going to have a good game.
and that leads right into it, man. What is your picks? Because I know for me, I'm going Cincinnati Bengals. I'm sticking with them. I'm sticking with my boy, Joe Shiesty. I already said that's his favorite nickname for him. I'm going with Joe. I'm going with Cincinnati. They've overcome everything that no one thought they would. A lot of people didn't think they were going to get into playoffs. They thought they'd beat the Titans, the Raiders, and then were kind of a toss-up. They definitely didn't think they would beat Kansas City. And now they're here on the big stage, and I just feel like there's no slowing down for them. Who do you have winning this game?
Well, my choice, just to get out there straight off the bat, is the Bengals. I'm going for the Bengals. I think Burrows has shown a lot of strength in some very tough moments. The man was sacked 9 times. I mean, you get sacked 9 times and you still win a game. I need to see some stats. Anybody know stats?
Tell me 9 times and still stand back up.
Man, fall 8 times and stand up 9. Hey, let's get it. You know what I'm saying? So I think just because he has the right mindset going in, he's a tough player from LSU, like your shirt says. But I just think that he has what it takes. He has what it takes to lead this team to a Super Bowl. There's only been a handful of second years that have done it, but if he does it, he'll be in a great group of guys.
Right. Who's some of those second years that have done it? I know for sure Ben was one. Any other that you know?
Well, we have Dan Marino. Kurt Warner, of course, which his is a special situation because he got drafted, then never got a chance to play, and then came back. But Tom Brady, Colin Kaepernick, Russell Wilson, and then also Ben Roethlisberger. That's a great group of guys to be a part of.
Hey, you can't complain about that one. That's for sure. So, so we got our sides now, but, let's look at what is it that each team needs to do to win. So I'm going to start off first, and I'm going to say with the Rams, and I want to hear what you have to think. The Rams, I think a lot of this is going to come down to the defense because I've been saying it all playoffs that limiting the amount of mistakes that Stafford can make is what's going to be great. Because Stafford, being in this pressure, even though he is a veteran, he has been known to make some mistakes, and we haven't seen it yet. And I for Rams' sake, I hope it stays that way. But I think a lot of this is going to ride on the defense. I think Aaron Donald is going to eat up that offensive line. I think he's going to put some hurting on Joe Burrow, and it's going to depend on how Joe Burrow can stand back up because he's going to get in there. He's going to get some sacks. He's going to take him down a couple times. And you also have your veteran experience being Von Miller, who has been in a situation not quite like this one because they actually have a stronger offense, but with Denver Broncos where that defense actually won the Super Bowl. So he knows that.
Very true.
He knows what it takes to stand up and be the main guy and to have control over a game in a big showcase like this, where if the defense performs to a high level, they can win it all. What do you think the Rams need to win?
Well, I mean, I think more so, just like what you're saying, it's on the defense. The defense has to put, I would say put Burrows on his back, but it almost kind of doesn't matter. But they just have to keep him keep pressure. But we have to look at the offensive side of the ball too. If Stafford doesn't show up and doesn't do his part, it doesn't matter. If he doesn't get the ball to the right person, to the right player, if OBJ don't get the ball, he starts sulking around second quarter because he ain't getting no touches, it's a wrap. Like, you get into his head by not letting him catch the ball. If he don't get the ball, he's out the game. His mental is gone. But OBJ has a lot to lose, but also a lot to gain. He has $1 million of incentives if he helps the Rams win this game. So just as much as you talk about the defense, it's really a big part on the leadership of the offense. If Stafford can really step it up and do his part, and Cooper Kupp can show out, it's going to be a fun game to watch. I'll say that at least.
I agree. And then, going into the Bengals side of things, I think, just that youth and that swagger that team has, which we'll talk a little bit more about later, is just that I think it's going to be a key part for them winning. I mean, their defense has been better than it was last year. I mean, they've been able to hold down Mahomes just a little bit. I don't even know if I say hold down, but do enough to win. But I think a lot of it comes down that offensive side. Like, I think, again, we're going to see some trouble with Mixon. I think Joe Burrow is really going to have to show out. And like you said, I think he's going to get knocked down 8 times, and he's going to have to get back up that 9th. And that's what's going to be the showcase of it. What are your thoughts on the Bengals' need to win?
I mean, I feel like just because we've seen it so many times already with him, and we know the O-line is a question. We know that. There's no situation dealing with that. There's no other question marks about that. The O-line is an issue. We know that. They're going to be drafting O-line this offseason. We know that. Yeah. But right now...
hopefully multiple.
Yeah, hopefully multiple. But right now, we know that Joe Burrow, he could take a hit. He could take 9 of them to be exact. And so because of that, it's just hard for me to go against the dude, man. He took 9 sacks. Like, you can't.
Right.
How do you put your lips together to say, I don't have any faith in this dude? You can't. Yeah,
it's hard.
The kid is headstrong, and he's smart, and he has a great arm, and he has great targets to throw to. Higgins, Boyd, Chase, they're good targets. And Big Ooze is going to be there. He's going to show up. Knee brace off and all.
Yeah, throw it into the stands. You don't need it anymore. With all that being said, the quote that we all know growing up is offense makes for good entertainment, but defense is what wins championships. And I feel like it could be a case in this one. And speaking of defense versus offense, I have one of my favorite matchups, and I think everybody's well anticipated matchup for this game, which is going to be Jayden Ramsey. I want to say arguably, but like really one of the best cornerback in the league versus young Jamar Chase, who's coming out this year with so much swagger, breaking every single rookie wide receiver record, playing with his old quarterback at his college at LSU. How is that matchup going to work out, man? I'm excited for that one.
Man, I just got to say, 81 receptions, 1,455 total yards of offense, 13 touchdowns, 18.0 yard average. You know, everything looks good when you talking mess on Twitter. Everything looks good. Everybody can show highlights, but you still got to show up. Jayden Ramsey has his hands full. Yeah. Jamar Chase, he's not no pushover. Them numbers is not no pushover. The kid is good. I'm not saying Jalen's a bum. I'm just saying Jayden has to do the defense.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be one of those situations where, you know, if you're Cincinnati, a lot of teams try to stay away from Ramsey, and a lot of his stats this year comes from that. He doesn't have as many tackles or as many, you know, blah, 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 because they don't I don't think if you're going to want to win a Super Bowl being Cincinnati Bengals that you have to stay away from your main target. I think they're going to have to test Ramsey. I think Ramsey's going to get a full face of action. And I think that's what it's going to come down to. And I'll tell you what, Jamar's ready for it. I mean, there's some little Twitter beef or some beefing, you know, through interviews where, you know, Ramsey's like, no, I want to be on the best player. I want to be on Jamar. Like he's not ready for me. You know, he's too young. He's not ready for that. And Jamar came out with just like the most solid response that I've ever heard, where he's just like, you know, paraphrasing, he's the one that has to guard me. He's the one on defense. He's got to get ready for my moves. I don't have to get ready for his. And he's kind of taking that stand where it's like, I'm in control. Can you handle me? Can you stop me? And I kind of like it. What do you think? You think they're going to target away from him? You think they're going to attack him? What do you think needs to be done?
I think once the game starts in the first couple of series, if they get it first, they're going to test the waters very early. They're going to trying to see if Jalen's going to be over ambitious and try to jump routes. If you catch him jumping, that means you can catch him off balance. If you can get him off balance, Jamar Chase has got to make one move. You get a defender off balance and where his hips aren't pointing the right direction, one move is all it takes. Yeah. One move is the difference between 6 points and a first down. He can do it. I mean, like I said, Ramsey, 62 solo tackles, 1 forced fumble, 4 interceptions, 16 pass defense. He's not a slouch, but neither is Jamar Chase. So I think it's going to be a great battle, and I hope it actually is a battle in the game that we see that stands out and makes this story even better.
Definitely. And let's just break it down a little bit further, man. Let's talk about the Rams, man. Let's first start it off with just talking about how they, quote unquote, have a home field advantage here, playing Super Bowl in SoFi Stadium, but no one's really felt like they've had a home field advantage all season. Do you think that home field is going to play a part this game?
Well, I mean, no. I'll just try out and say no. LA. No matter I think the only team in LA that will have a true home field advantage if they got a playoff game at home are the Los Angeles Dodgers. It ain't because the Lakers, it's Hollywood. The Rams, it's Hollywood. We're not going to talk about the Chargers.
It's hard having a diehard fan base in a city that everyone travels from to be there from other cities.
Oh yeah, but just like they played against the Niners, there were so many Niners fans there that you actually thought they were at a Niner home game.
Right.
So when that happens, I know Bengals, the Who Dey crowd is going to travel very nicely to the stadium. Travel.
It's been a while.
1988. 1988 against San Francisco 49ers. It's been a very long time.
And then, we go into their team. I mean, obviously, we talked a lot about their defense. I think Aaron Donald's going to have a good game. He's one of those Super Bowl MVP caliber players that can make a difference. You got Von, who has the experience, a veteran in the league, man, knows how to do. He's been coming into his role a lot more with the Rams over the last couple of weeks, recorded several sacks over the last couple of games compared to whenever he first initially joined them, near the end of the season. And then, the veteran Stafford, coming in, being on the big stage for the first time. OBJ, who, we know he loves the limelight.
Oh, yeah.
And I think OBJ personally is going to have a big game. I think OBJ is going to have a game. He's going to get it. He's going to get a touchdown. You can time stamp it. He's getting a touchdown this game. I think he's going to play really well. What do you think about the Rams?
I definitely think that OBJ will get a touchdown, but I also think he's going to drop a pivotal catch. I just,
Okay.
I just have that feeling in my left aorta. I just feel it, and I feel like he's going to drop
Not the right.
a pivotal catch because I only think it halfway. So I think he's going to drop a pivotal catch. Now, like you said, the defense is going to they're hungry. They know what this offensive line is. But in saying that, when you come in too eager, when you come in too thinking, oh, we're better, you're going to make mistakes. You're
Right.
going to make mistakes. They look better on paper, of course. Some will say they look better on film. But you still got Joe Burrows over there. As long as you got Joe Burrows.
It don't matter what you're talking about a Super Bowl, man. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
stats, statistics. None of that matters. Who comes out with more heart and who comes out and performs better. I mean,
I
we've seen
agree.
it time and time again. We all know, and we'll just mention this one: the Giants versus the Patriots, where the Patriots were going for the perfect season, the
Yeah.
full roundabout, and Eli Manning and the Giants, a team that obviously deserved to be there, but weren't everybody's first pick, goes and beats them. It's anyone's game.
No one
It's
picked the
anyone's game.
Giants to win that game. No one.
Right. Right.
So
And now, will do you think the Rams' past appearance could make a impact on this? The fact that they came in 2018 and had a absolute, got demolished by the Patriots and not play a good game as well. Do you think that they might feel like, oh, this is our time now? We got to get this back.
well, I think any team that has been there recently, especially recently, they will feel that way. They will feel that, especially if they went there and lost it, they will feel this is our time. Because you
And
made it
is
there,
that
you went through this. You're going through your story, and this is the high point of your story. So you feel like you feel like, okay, this is what it's all for. We're going to get this. But so go ahead. What you're saying?
that appearance of losing and still having a good bit of players on that losing squad now with a new squad being Stafford, not having golf anymore, is that make you more hungry than a Bengals team who hasn't been there in several years and guys that haven't experienced that tough loss? Does that make you more susceptible to winning it, or is it kind of what and what?
I mean, it does make you hungry. Those who were there, those who are part of that team, those who weren't, they just know they're going to their first Super Bowl. But the ones
Right.
who were there, yeah, it makes you more hungry because you're going to the game. You taste it. You taste it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like you cook the perfect steak. You take that first. You take while you're cooking it, trying to finish cooking. You take a little piece to just check it to taste it, and it tastes bomb. It tastes good. You know what it tastes like. Now you want the whole thing. It doesn't mean that
Yeah.
you're gonna automatically get it. Hey, it might fall off the grill. Dog might come and get it. Anything can happen.
Oh, sheesh.
But I'm just saying, like,
I love
yeah,
that.
they're definitely hungry for it for the ones who were there before the first time around.
Right.
But like I said, that over eagerness could cause issues as well.
Okay. I like it. All right, now we're going to go opposite ends. We're going to go into Cincinnati, both of our picks right now. I think the biggest thing that Cincinnati has going for them is just their youth in general. I mean, something about this team right now is they just have this crazy, like, I don't even know if I want to call it like a chip on their shoulder, like the underdog feel. Like, I just feel like there's something about them where they just move with so much swagger. Like they just move like they been here before, like they should have been here before, like they have something about them that makes you hard. It makes it hard to root against them, and it makes it hard to pick against them because they just got something. Like, can you narrow that down? How do
I
you
think
explain it?
I think because they've been in such so many close different battles, people think, oh, well, they're so close. Well, then when they're coming, gonna get blown out. That's what discussion is. Discussion around the Twitterverse and Instagram and Facebook. That's what people are talking about. But as a Bengals player, they need to go in there thinking that we belong here. We didn't get here by an accident. We won football games, so we belong
Right.
here too. So now it's 0-0, and whoever wins this goes out 1-0. Period. That's all. That's what it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to this game for these young guys is like, talked about how they've gotten hit, how they've won close games, but sometimes the ability to win close games when you shouldn't have won is more important than winning blowouts. Like,
Yeah.
if you can show that you can dig in the trenches and not give up whenever you should have lost. I mean, you were down last week by several points and then made a comeback out of this. I think they were down by 21 at some point, if I
I think it
remember
was
correctly. Or,
it was 18 or 21. I can't remember. I think it was 18 or
yeah,
21.
you know,
Yeah.
and they're able to come back from that. Like, you obviously have something going on with you that you just don't believe in the odds. You just believe in yourself. And I think that's empowering for a team ran by Zach Taylor as the coach, Joe Burrow on the offensive side, that just they're all connected. They're all believing the same thing that's going on, and they believe in their team. They believe in their foundation, their personnel, that they can win this game. And I think that's huge. I think it's going to play a big part of it. And I think the biggest thing that shows about just their hunger for this is, like you said earlier, Big Ooze coming out and, got injured last week.
Yeah.
We see him in a brace. He comes to the presser last weekend and rips his brace off. Forget the MCL sprain that he has. He's like, I'm not going to miss the biggest game of my career for this. I'd rather be 70, 60, 50, whatever percent it is, and play my ass off than miss this game. Like, I'm going to be there. I think that's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's rare when a player who was injured before, unless it's like something that's really like season-ending type injury, they don't come. You know what I'm saying? They don't come and dress out. But when it's a possibility that you can, they're going to because they want to be there with their boys. They want to play with their brothers and try to win a championship. Because if they don't play and your boys lose, then you put all the blame on yourself. And I know as a person, as a man, period, you don't want to do that. You don't want to be like, okay, well, it was my fault that they lost. So
I agree. So that brings us down to our final predictions. I know we got Cincinnati versus the Rams. I have Cincinnati. You have Cincinnati winning it. My score prediction, personally, I think it's going to be 33-27. I'm expecting a high-scoring game. I think even with that tough defense, I think if the Bengals want to win this, I think they will win it. I think they're going to put up some good points. I think it's going to be 33-27. I think Matthew Stafford, as much as I want to say it, I think he's going to go ahead and cough one up. He's going to cough up a pick six that's going to go ahead and put this game in the terminal, and it's going to end this game. I think Bengals are going to win it off a big play like that. It's going to be a great Super Bowl.
Well, I'm going to say Bengals for the win. And I'm thinking, as I've been sitting here thinking, I'm going to say 27-24. They're going to win by a field goal. Evan McPherson. Evan McPherson is going to be the one. He's done it several times. I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout on either side. I'm saying Bengals by 3, 27-24.
McPherson said 1 time's good luck, 2 times good luck, and 3rd time is definitely the charm. That's what you got here.
Exactly. Let's go. So last thing on top of that, before we end the video, just wanted to give a quick shout out to TJ Hushmanzada, Ocho Cinco, and Sports Center for reaching out. Some of you guys may have seen the viral video that took place with the 86-year-old lifelong Cincinnati fan, James Lipscomb, who finally seen them win to go to the Super Bowl. Well, just to let you guys know, if you haven't seen the second video, he's going to the Super Bowl. Someone bought him tickets to the Super Bowl for him and his granddaughter. So that actually made me feel good. Even more so where
oh, definitely.
Let's go Cincinnati. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Who day? Oh, God.
I know that hurt for you to say. But I think that's pretty much it for us, right?
That's it for us.
All right. So once again, thank you guys for watching the video. This is our 2021 Super Bowl predictions. Los Angeles Rams, Cincinnati Bengals. For myself, I'm Nonfiction. This is my co-host, Levels. This has been another production for Real Fan Sports, and we will catch you on the next one. Hopefully we see you at Super Bowl. Appreciate you. Love you. Peace out, you guys.